that segment backfired, and now I feel stupid. Let's
You
get into
still
the
you
book a little
can't
bit.
just, like, not put it in there, though, because you were wrong.
No, it'll be in there. I'll keep it in.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Read Option presented by Good Time Media. I'm Wyatt. That's Jenna. Today we're gonna talk a little bit more about Shoe Dog, a little more football, and hopefully you'll learn something. Jenna, do you have a top 5 today?
I do.
I'm so proud. Ladies first. I would love to hear what you came up with.
Actually, you want me to go
Yeah,
first?
I would love that.
Okay, mine isn't exactly ranked as a top 5 because that felt almost inappropriate.
Okay.
My topic is top NFL scandals.
Okay.
But
All
do you see
right.
how it would feel wrong to rank them?
Yeah, I don't know what the criteria would be for best. Is like best
Yeah,
most
it just
horrific
felt
or is best
I tried and I
biggest?
just didn't feel
Felt
right.
weird. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got?
Alright, first one I have is Deflategate.
Okay. Do you have an opinion on Deflategate? Do you think
Okay,
he's
so
guilty, innocent? Who's guilty,
the
innocent?
Patriots came up in, like, a few different scandals. I think they're just a little sketchy.
Yeah, no, they
So,
cheated quite a bit. There was
I
Spygate.
fully yeah, I didn't put that one
Yeah,
down, but yeah, no, I think it was true. I don't know that he's the one who did it, but he had to have known.
gotcha.
Okay, next I have Bountygate.
This is near and dear to my heart. This cost me a Super Bowl.
Really?
I claim it cost me a Super Bowl.
I just can't
I'm
believe that, like, real humans did that.
Oh yeah, scumbags. They
Yeah.
paid Sean Payton got suspended for a whole year. And this is a big reason why I dislike not dislike, just kidding. No, I do dislike Dan Campbell, the head coach for the Detroit Lions,
'Cause
who
he was there.
he was a tight ends coach, I believe, during that time. And let's just say he also ended up last year tearing the ACL of my starting tight end. So I'm putting them together, saying Deflategate isn't dead yet, and I'm still a little sour about
Bountygate,
that.
not Deflategate.
Sorry, Bountygate. You're right.
It's kinda confusing with all the gates
A lot of gates.
there are. Okay, this one doesn't have a name for it, but I didn't realize the NFL was tax exempt until 2015.
I don't quite know what that
They
means.
didn't have to pay any taxes as an organization until 2015. So they're
Is
raking in these billions and billions of dollars on merchandise, tickets, like, everything, and they're not paying any taxes on it.
really?
Yeah.
Ho
It was basically running as, like, a mega church
That's interesting. I did not know
until
that at all. Till
2015. Like,
less than a decade ago.
yeah.
Wow. That's
And
actually very interesting. I
and
did not
people
know that.
already complain about, like, how much money is
Yeah.
involved in the NFL, so
But
imagine
then all the
if they were paying
players
taxes.
the players had to obviously pay taxes on their salary that
I
they were
would
given.
assume they did, yeah.
They did. So, that's interesting. I did not know that at all.
Mhm.
See, I'm learning something about the NFL here.
Yeah. Um, this one's just a little near and dear. In 1984, the Baltimore Colts
Mhm.
picked up and left in the middle of the night during a snowstorm and moved to Indianapolis.
Yep.
That's
Did you know
wild.
about this one?
No.
Oh, you should read up more on this one. This is
I kind
crazy.
of started to, but then I had to keep moving
Yeah.
with my list, but
So, yeah, we were the Baltimore Colts. The Indiana did not have a team, and then they just up and left and showed up here, which
mhm.
is crazy because this was in the works behind the scenes for a while. They were, like,
Yeah.
building practice facilities here, and, like, the people in Baltimore didn't know about it, and they just got up and left. Can you imagine
In the
if you
middle
just,
of
like,
the night,
woke
moving a whole entire football team to a different state?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it's not
crazy.
like they were, like, shipping the players in a truck
I
or
know,
something. It was
but, like,
just the equipment and
essentially, it
stuff.
was, like, just one night and they were
Yeah.
done.
Imagine if we woke up and the Colts were like, "Hey, we're going to Omaha."
The Colts were gone.
No Indianapolis
No
Colts.
say, nothing. You had no
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, I can't imagine as a fan base what I would feel,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's crazy.
And then finally, the Michael Vick dogfighting
Oh, yeah.
situation.
Oh,
But
yeah.
not just the fact that he was running the dogfights. As I read up on it more, the reason he was suspended from the NFL was because he was associated with illegal gambling, which obviously had to do with the dogfights.
Yeah.
So they indefinitely suspended him. He goes to jail for 21 months, federal prison,
Uh-huh.
and then comes back to the NFL
Yeah. Yeah, he
and, like,
came back.
played in the Pro Bowl or something.
Yeah, I think he made a Pro Bowl
He
post
did.
dogfight. Yeah.
Like, how was that allowed? That's
It's
more the scandal that
because
I'm like, that should not be allowed.
I mean,
Imagine trying to get a
as
job in the real world.
so you don't believe in second chances?
I
You don't believe in our
100% do, but 21 months, and he had really that was his only like, the only thing, and then he just got to go right back to his job.
I mean, not right back. He spent 21 months in
Well,
jail.
that's not even 2 years.
That's a lot of months, though. I'd rather not do 21 months in jail. I didn't do anything,
No,
I hope, that illegal, but he did the time. Why should he have to pay for it after the fact? I'm not defending his
I'm just
actions,
saying if
but
anybody else had gone to federal prison for 21 months, it would have been really hard to get a job after that.
agreed.
And that suspended indefinitely, that's not what that means.
What do you
Suspended indefinitely is like never you were never allowed to return.
That's not what indefinitely means.
It's not?
Indefinitely means like we're not going to set a time on it, but we will reinstate you at some point. Like we're not going to say
Oh, I think
you're
I was confused.
I think you mixed up permanently, suspended permanently. Permanently and indefinitely are two very different things.
Okay, fair.
All
Fair,
right.
but still, I think he should have been just fired.
It's not a bad take. It
Fired.
is crazy that he just came back and yeah, he's
Just
still very good.
normal. Like, who the hell would have wanted him on their team?
He would have been a definitely a Hall of Famer. Um, he could be in some high up conversations about because he was incredible before the
Before he ruined it all?
yeah. So like what Lamar Jackson is now, he was that 15 years ago, probably more than that. Um, and that was before the league was playing at this speed that it is now. So he was an anomaly back then. He was, and then obviously hurt himself off the field, but that was that. Was that your fifth one?
That was my 5.
Sweet. All right. My top 5 I have this week is top 5 celebrities who probably can't read.
Is Leah
So
Michelle on this list?
she's my honorable mention. I didn't want to put her. That felt too obvious because that is a genuine rumor that she can't read.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put her on my list. But yeah, this is just celebrities. I don't. I'm not claiming they're dumb, stupid, anything. I'm just saying based off looks, vibe, maybe they can't read. I am not. What's the word I'm looking for? Anti illiteracy. Whatever. You can't read, can't read. I don't know. That's fine by me. Number 5, don't think there's going to be much argument. I don't think I need to explain this one much. Paris Hilton.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked if she can't read. She might not ever
She's
have
a lot
had to
smarter
learn.
than she looks.
I think she's probably very smart. She's built a brand and she is very very popular, but she might not have ever had to learn how to read. I feel like she's lived a very proper and
Yes.
whatever life, and she might not have to read, which is fine. Number 4, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's last name. He's a younger, he might be the youngest person on my list. Nicholas Galitzine, the guy from the Idea of You,
Yeah, Purple Hearts too.
maybe that one
He's in
too.
a new movie coming out as well.
Yeah, he's also in Bottoms, which is really funny. He's really good in it. He just based strictly off looks.
Like, he's too
I
pretty to know how to read.
Yes, exactly. I don't know if he quite knows how to read. And I'm mostly basing this off of his character in Bottoms, so that's unfair of me, but that's just the image of him that sticks in my head where he just plays this stupid, dumb jock, which he does very well, so maybe that counters my point, but anyways, um, yeah, I don't think he can read. Number 3, I don't really have an explanation for this, just a vibes thing, Megan Trainor. I don't know, I just feel like she can't read.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know.
That was
What
so
do you
out of left field.
I don't think Megan Trainor knows how to read,
I
which
thought you
is
were saying
fine.
Megan Fox at first.
No, Megan Fox can read
Okay.
for sure. Number 2, Zion Williamson. I don't know if you're aware of him.
No.
He's a
Wait, is
basketball
he a
player.
yeah.
Yeah, basketball player. I'll put in a clip of him trying to say the word lackadaisical.
That's
Um,
a hard word.
it is a hard word, but the way he says it, my goodness, it's the
Pretty
funniest.
sure it's spelled phonetically as well.
One of my favorite clips. Let's see if I have it saved. Haven't favored it.
Laxi
This is him saying lackadaisical, so this is the only reason he's on my list.
I think we kind of went into the game too, like Kasega's.
I could listen right one
I
more
think
time.
we kind of went into the game too, like Kasega's.
That just makes me laugh every time. I had to include him on my
It also
list.
is
So
very much spelled phonetically.
yeah, lackadaisical. And number 1 on my list, I feel like he has the ability to read, but he's never used it. And this is Nick Cage, Nicolas Cage. I
Nick
feel like
Cage.
instead of reading words, he just feels the vibe of the words. He probably just picks up a book and is like, "Yeah, I got this. Like I understand. Like I'm picking up on the aura of the book or the
I
words."
like how you're picking famous people that are, like, actors or musicians because they, like, have to read scripts and have to read lyrics.
Yeah, no, I don't. Nick Cage, I bet he's done this before. He's like, "I don't need to read this script. It's already spoken to me." That's something Nick Cage would say. He's like, "I don't need to read this, but I've interacted with the script and it's spoken to me in a way where yes, I will do your movie." That's what I get from Nick Cage.
Okay,
So could be wrong there, but he's number 1 on my list.
okay.
Any celebrities you thought of as I was going through there?
No.
Okay. I'm trying to think if there are a few that just
Yeah,
missed
I've
the
got
list.
one.
Who you
I
got?
don't know if you'll know who it is. Sky Jackson. I
Oh yeah,
feel like
she was
can't read.
Ant Farm.
Yeah, it was announced today that she's pregnant. That's why she
Hell
was
yeah.
on the tip of my brain.
Nice. Good for her.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do there's not too much to recap from this week NFL action. Nothing really stood out, but I wanted to do something with you because uh something that I think is a very distinct difference between guys and girls is when we're hanging out, we're very simple creatures and what guys do a lot, I don't know if you're aware of this, we could go hours of just naming athletes and then where they went to college. I could do that for hours. Where they're like, "Oh, where did Raymond Felton go?" And someone's like, "UNC." Like, that's it. We could do that for hours and just have those conversations. So, that got me thinking. I'm fairly certain that any athlete I know where they went to college. So, I have not told you this
You
before,
shoulda had me
but
prepare
I
a
want you to
list.
go until you stump me and try to name athletes.
I'm just randomly naming athletes?
You can name any athlete you know, try to stump me and see if I can get this could go 0 for 1. I did not prep you on this segment
Well,
beforehand,
what if
so
I don't know?
you know athletes. I'm just
Well,
saying the ones you can name off the top of your head, I bet I could name where they went to college. You're not allowed to Google athletes.
I'm
That defeats the
I'm not.
purpose.
I'm just trying to pull up what the actual answer is. Simone Biles.
Oh, that's not fair.
Why?
That is not fair.
Why? She's
That
literally the greatest women's athlete of all time.
that's oh, okay. I I don't know.
That's actually such a fair athlete to name. She was just
I
in
was
the
thinking
Olympics.
I was under football mindset.
Okay, then you should have said football players.
Do you know where Simone Biles went?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Okay, wait, let me guess then. I'm trying to think of a gymnastics school. Like UNC or one of those ACC schools. Not LSU. I don't know. Tell me.
She didn't.
That's bullshit.
She just
I was
didn't.
literally gonna say that. I was literally gonna say that. Like
Just got her
I don't think.
degree online at like an online.
All right, can we take this segment seriously now?
That was serious.
Okay, well let's start with football players.
Hang on, gotta Google football players.
That's not the point. My
I
point
don't
is
know enough.
just you don't have okay.
I don't
I'm
know
saying
any
that
other names. I'm new to this.
you know a football player. Just start there.
Peyton Manning,
Tennessee.
Randall Cobb.
You know what's insane is I was doing this last night with my roommates, and they said Jenna's gonna throw out Randall Cobb, and I said if she throws out Randall Cobb, I'll take the loss because I don't know where he went, and I think it's a smaller school, like Mount St. Mary's or something, and I don't know, and I'm gonna take this loss right now. Damn it, I should. And she. Oh man, of course you did.
He went
Do you
to
know
the
the answer?
University of Kentucky.
I should have known that. I should have known that. Ugh! This just ruined the segment for me. All right, do you want to keep going or not? I have a list of
You
athletes
want
that
me
you.
to keep going?
I have a list of athletes that you should know where they went to college. Do you
I
want to try that?
feel like that's going to be embarrassing for myself.
I was just embarrassed right there. I went 1 for 2.
Okay, I gave you like an old.
I should have got that though.
Okay, I literally named 2.
Do you want to keep
Do you
going?
want to do my list? To do your
Okay.
list?
Try naming one more, and if I don't get it, I'm canceling this segment. I'm deleting this episode.
BJ Raji.
What the fuck, Jenna? What a deep cut. Holy this you win. I don't know where PJ Raji went to school. Unbelievable. This is not how I saw this segment going. Well done. Tip the cap, I guess. I should have just studied old Packers.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, congrats, you won. I apparently don't know ball.
You want to do yours now to make yourself feel better? He went to Boston College, by the way.
Yeah, I never would have got that in a
I
million
kind
years.
of want to try though. What your list?
Okay, we can go through it. These are things like some of these you probably will know. That's why like these are the basic ones where I think the common fan is probably aware of them. So they were probably more famous in college. I'll start. Tim Tebow.
Florida.
1 for 1. Peyton Manning was on my list. What did I just say?
Tennessee.
There you go. Let's go Joe Burrow.
LSU.
Yeah, there you go. Tom Brady.
I don't know.
Big Ten school.
That doesn't help me.
Up north from us.
Michigan.
Johnny Manziel. One of the most famous college athletes of all time.
I don't know.
Texas A&M.
Never would.
Few more on my list. Cam Newton.
Who?
Cam Newton.
Clemson.
No.
Damn it.
Deshaun Watson went there.
Ooh.
Your favorite player.
Ooh.
Any guess for Cam Newton?
You just thought we were done with Cam. Vanderbilt.
Nope. He went to Auburn. Let's say finally Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce.
University of Cincinnati.
Of course you know that one.
Alec Pierce went there too.
He did. Where'd Josh Downs go?
Purdue.
UNC. All right. Well, that segment backfired, and now I feel stupid. Let's get into the book a little bit.
You can't just like not put it in there though because you were wrong.
No, it'll be in there. I'll keep it in.
Okay.
I just can't believe you pulled BJ Raji. Randall Cobb I should have got. I'll own that one. That's on me.
Especially if your friends warned you last night. Like you should have.
Literally, we talked about Randall Cobb last night, and I was so arrogant. I was like, I'm not going to look this up because there's no way she pulls Randall Cobb. And then she did. So, all right. Let's move into some book talk here. First thing we need to talk about, because I don't know how much there is to really cover as we're kind of in the meat of the book. A lot of people are talking about the series. We've talked about it on the show. What's the acronym for the big one? Yes, that one. Admittedly, people have said, hey, we should read that for the show. I'm not ready for it. I'm intimidated.
I'm not either. I've tried. I haven't.
So what are your thoughts there? We've talked about it a little bit, but I feel like now that we're getting some suggestions for it.
It's fantasy.
Okay.
I think it's kind of like a romance fantasy kind of vibe. My problem with it is that there are so many characters and I can't pronounce their names.
Gotcha.
Like I could tell you they're like crazy ass names. And I'm sorry, when I'm reading a book and I'm like, like that's not fun.
Give me an example of one. So you can spell it out and I'll try to pronounce it.
Feyre.
Feyre?
Yep.
That's fire. Gotta be.
I think it's fair.
Fair? Nah.
I'm pretty sure I've heard people say that.
Gotta be fire. Give me one more.
I'm trying. I mean, okay, so it's not like I made it to page 21, if that tells you anything. Nesta.
Nesta? I feel like you just sound these out.
That's what I figured too, but you've got to understand when there are so many, it's like Nesta, fair.
It does kind of feel like it takes you out of the world a little bit when
it does. When I have to stop and sound out the name, I'm sorry, but that's not super fun for me.
I'm assuming Fire's a guy.
The synopsis for this book.
I would love to.
When 19-year-old huntress Fair kills a wolf in the woods, a terrifying creature arrives to demand retribution. Dragged to a treacherous magical land she knows about only from legends, Fair discovers that her captor is not truly a beast, but one of the lethal, immortal fairies, spelled Faeries, who once ruled her world. At least he's not a beast all the time. As she adapts to her new home, her feelings for the fairy, Tamlin, Tamlin is the name, transform from icy hostility into a fiery passion that burns through every lie she's been told about the beautiful, dangerous world of the Fae. But something is not right in the Faerie, lands. An ancient wicked shadow is growing, and Fair must find a way to stop it or doom Tamlin and his world forever.
That's the book that everyone's like...
People are obsessed with this book. And you know what drives me crazy about this series is like everybody always posts about this first one and they're like, I'm really struggling to get through this. And they're like, you just have to push through. Book number 1's not good. You just got to make it to book 3. I'm like, then what's the point?
Yeah. Then start at book 3. Don't.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, then that's not a good series. If all of the books aren't good, you want me to read 2?
I feel like we need to tread lightly too, because as
420-page books that I can't follow just to get to the third one.
I'm on your side here.
It's good.
I was coming at it from a standpoint of I'm intimidated by it. Now I'm just not interested in it.
Well, that's my problem too. And I don't mean to hate on people who like it. I'm also not like super into fantasies. Like I was when I
Mhm.
was younger, but that's not what I traditionally read.
Yeah,
So
this
it's
feels
just
like Harry
very,
Potter.
very daunting to me.
What was the Dragon series? That was Aragon, maybe? Was a big one growing up. It was kind of Game of Thronesy-ish.
Narnia?
Not Narnia. I think it was I feel Aragon sounded right, but
Never
who
heard
knows?
that. Percy
Yeah, so
Jackson.
I wanted to talk about it because I
No,
feel like we've
I
getting a
hear
lot
what
of
people are saying because it is very popular.
mhm.
It would take us years,
Yeah. Yeah,
years
we would
to get
have to
through
do
those
a
books.
full yeah, there's no way. We can't do it.
We can
So,
hardly read Shoe Dog.
yes, 100%. We're getting through it. All right, speaking of Shoe Dog, where do you so of what you've read this week,
Mhm.
what stands out? Any stories, any small moments you're like, "Oh, that was interesting. I learned this," or "This guy's kind of weird." What's anything stand out from you?
I'm wondering where this Johnson guy is going to come into play because Phil Knight tends to complain about him a lot. And also, I wonder how he felt reading this book.
So, for those of you who haven't read this or have read it a long time ago, there's this guy, I forget his first name, Johnson's last name.
Yeah, he just
Uh,
calls him Johnson after he
yeah.
introduces him once, so I don't remember.
So he's basically his first or second part-time employee for it's not even Nike yet. I think it's still Blue Ribbon at this point.
It is.
Um, and he's a former runner and just wants to get involved. So he's starting to sell more in the Los Angeles area, I believe, while Phil is still in Oregon. It just sends him a bunch of emails over and over
Well,
again.
they're letters. They don't even have email yet.
You're right. Yeah, I keep forgetting
Imagine
her.
getting all of those in the mail constantly.
Oh
And
my
he's like
gosh, yeah.
whining about how he's not responding.
Yeah. So this is gonna go one of two ways. Either this Johnson character becomes like the CFO of
I feel
Nike,
like he's going to.
or yeah, I feel like I
He's
don't
very
think you
public.
introduce a character like that and then kind of trash on him for him
Yeah,
not to come around and
I
um
agree.
which also he has the story of the girlfriend or I don't even know if
Yeah,
she was a girlfriend at any point. It was kind of a weird in and out. It was a quick like 2 pages. It's like, "Oh, wait, I thought this was" when she was first
I
introduced, I was
thought
like,
it
"This
was
is gonna
gonna
be
be
his
his wife.
wife."
Yeah,
Still might be.
I agree.
I I
I agree.
think she might come back around, but, that was an interesting story, which they met on the mountain of was it Mount Fiji? Weren't they climbing and they met there?
Yeah, Mount
And
Fuji.
then he thought this guy was her boyfriend the whole time,
Yeah,
and it wasn't. That
yeah.
was funny. I
And then
enjoyed
she
that.
just, like, comes to his house, stays there for
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah, she knows what she wants.
Thing. Yeah.
The other story that stood out to me is he said he couldn't afford the airfare from Oregon to LA to keep going back to sell more shoes. So pretty much he pretended or like he would just use the army like travel, which when I first read it, I was like, is that like stolen valor? I'm like, is he? But then I forgot he's a soldier. He went to basic training or
I got lost in that part a little bit.
yeah, so basically the way I got it, he was using the military shuttles basically that went back and forth and he would just kind of suit up
Mhm.
and use it as if he was traveling for military purposes and he was actually going
Well,
to
I just meant the part that he's, like, in the army. Like, did I miss that?
I think
'Cause,
it
like, yes, he's
was
talking about it, and he's talking about, like, how he's learning so many leadership skills and stuff, but I don't remember him saying that he, like, entered the army.
yeah, I don't remember. He didn't go into much detail about it, but he does have like the daily. He's still in the reserve, so he still has that commitment. He's doing that once a week.
Mhm.
He kind of reaches a low point here where he's coughing up a lot of money. Sending well, let's back up a little bit. He gets back from Japan. Things are going well, and then he finds out there's another dude who the same Japanese company agreed said, "Hey, you can sell our shoes on the East Coast." And this guy tries to shut down Phil on the West Coast. That becomes a big point. And then Phil has to
Mhm.
go back to Japan and say, "Hey, what's going on here? Let me keep selling here." which I thought was fun because, again, this guy is our age, 25, 26. He's got to fly to Japan. He doesn't really know what he's doing. And I think that's what I'm enjoying right now is he's
Mhm.
kind of faking it till he makes it. He doesn't
Mhm.
have Nike. Blue Ribbon isn't an actual business, and he's
Right.
just he's not making it up, but he feels underqualified, but I think everyone's at that point at some point. Like you're not just born with experience, which I think is a interesting point because I feel like even like for us, no matter what path you go through, like whether it's teaching, whatever, at some point you're out of school and you don't have experience, and then you have to go interview for a job and say, "Hey, trust me, I'll be good at this," but I haven't actually done it,
Yeah.
which is I think everyone it's
I thought it
relatable.
was funny how he's carrying around that book, like, How to Do Business with the Japanese.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh, you just
it's
gotta.
like business with the Japanese for dummies.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know. I would do the same thing, I feel
Yeah.
like, and just kind of, fake it. Did you kind of just to bring this back to, like, our own personal experience, did you ever have that feeling of, like, "I don't know what I'm doing?"
I still
Like,
have that feeling.
do you still I wonder if that goes away.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
And
I
I
don't think
just
it goes away.
you think you're just always like, "Hey, I feel" like, I don't know if it's feeling underqualified, but it's
Well,
probably
I
more of
think
a
it's also has a lot to do with personality. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to always feel underqualified because that means there's room for growth. Like, I think that's just
yeah.
somebody who, like, wants to improve. Like, if you already think you're the best at your job, then you're probably a little cocky and overconfident.
Agreed. And I think that goes back to what we talked about last week where I think he
Where he
narrowed
wins
down
every day.
well, no, just the idea of is it a fear of failure or what was the flip side of it? Like um I want to be the best. Like that's the or do I want to am I more do I love winning or do I hate losing? And
Yeah.
he fully is embracing that I just hate losing part, which I think is highlighted by a little bit of insecurity and like you have to I think he's motivated by fear almost like I can't fuck this up.
Yeah.
And he says it blatantly I think in this book at some point where he's like I can't mess this up. Like I'm terrified of failing. And I think the part I'm at right now, he's kind of at that low point where the bank is he's barely breaking even. He's spending a ton of money buying shoes, selling them. If he reaches any point where the shoes aren't selling,
Well,
it's not
in
going to
just
go
a
well.
couple pages, I think you're gonna get to the part where, he's like, his contract with Tiger is up, and
Hmm.
basically he's just sitting around waiting for a letter in the mail of them saying, like, "We are going to renew your contract and you can keep selling the shoes," or, like, his contract is done, and he's like, "I don't even care what this letter says, I just want to know." So
Yeah.
it seems like he's not quite the passion isn't quite there like it was at the beginning.
Yeah. And it's got to be easier to feel motivated and passionate towards something when it's going well.
Right.
Like, and then when it's things start to spiral a little bit, you're like, maybe this was all a mistake.
Well, and I also think there's something to be said about the fact that he got, like, another full-time job while he's trying to do this.
Yeah.
Like, that's gotta take some of your time and energy away from it. You're not gonna be as deep into it as you once
Yeah.
were.
I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs find themselves. It's you
Yeah.
have you want to put 100% of your effort into this passion project, but I got to stay afloat, so I got to
Mhm.
have a job to
Yeah.
like keep me going, but then that takes up enough energy. So you almost need to find a job where you can put as little of energy into it as possible so
Yeah.
you can pursue that. But if you put little energy into a job, you're not going to keep that job very long. So
Mm.
there's that balance. And then I feel like a lot of it's why like what 90% of 99% of businesses fail. It's because you have to find that balance and that balance falls apart very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anything else from this part of the book? So where are you exactly? I am about 100 pages in.
Me as well.
Okay. Perfect.
Uh,
I'm on yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I'm starting 1966, so I'm at like page 90.
Okay, I'm halfway through 1966.
Perfect. Where are you standing with this book right now? Are you still
I was just
struggling?
gonna ask you the same.
Okay.
I do think okay, so he's worked like the format of this book is very chronological.
Mm-hmm.
And like to the point where he's giving us a lot of small details.
Yes.
And I feel like it's getting a little bit boring.
Okay.
I'm like
How
ready for it to turn into Nike. I'm ready for this like turning point where
like where's Michael
where's
Jordan?
the
Where's
action? Where's something
yeah.
gonna happen? And everybody's talking about how this book's amazing, so I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But right now it's just like I'm working my 2 jobs in the Army Reserve, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
How do you feel about him just as a person? Phil Knight. What's the vibe you get from him so far where we're at?
um I don't know for sure.
Like, do you think you'd be friends if you were
No,
if he was
probably
around? Why?
not. I don't think he has a lot of emotion. Like,
Okay.
I know he cares a lot about the company and, like, that going well,
Uh-huh.
but I don't feel like there's a lot of emotion involved. Like, even with the girlfriend part, I was, like, getting excited because I was, like, kind of getting to know him,
Yeah.
and then it just ended so abruptly. And then kind of the way he talks about the Johnson guy where he's like, "This guy's looking for encouragement. I'm literally his boss, and I am not answering any of his emails or any of his letters."
Yeah, but
That's
I
kind of
kind of
turning me off a bit.
he is being vulnerable enough though where he's not always painting himself in a good light, which
Oh,
is important
agreed.
for
I
like a
agree.
memoir or autobiography because it would be very annoying if it's like I am the greatest. This is why I'm the greatest. Here's my life story. He does kind of show the cracks of just every like human nature and
Yeah,
he's like, "Hey, I'm not perfect here."
yeah.
Um but yeah, I think there is a little bit of when he describes himself going through like even when the girlfriend breaks up with him, he describes, yeah, I wasn't doing like I was just moping around, sitting around my basement, but he doesn't go into detail about the emotions that he was feeling. So
Mhm.
it does feel a little bit removed. He just shows the actions like, "Hey, girlfriend broke up with me. I'm not selling shoes anymore. I'm just moping around." Not like this is what I was feeling.
Yeah, I also think I appreciate that he's not being super overconfident about himself. Like, but he is kind of hard on himself too when he's talking about,
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, I ran in college, but I wasn't very good." Like, he is kind
Yeah.
of down on himself right now, which is real in the moment that he's living and trying to start a business.
Yeah. Which also I don't and maybe he just like sat down and actually like talked to people about these moments of his life because I don't know how he remembers all this stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's a
And
good
there's
point.
so much detail about
There
his
is
life
so much detail.
60 years ago. It's
Mhm.
like I how do you remember these meetings? How do you
Mhm.
remember small details like that? It's very impressive.
Well, and I know it says the years of the chapters that we're reading and what's happening, but it kind of feels like time's moving very slowly. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he's been doing the same thing for a very long time.
Yeah,
That's
but
why I've
really it's only
also been
been
keeping my
2 years.
I know, but, like, I don't know. That's why I'm kind of hoping that something happens soon.
I think it will. I think it's gonna pick up a little bit here, and I still am getting a lot of good information from it. Um, but I honestly think it's building up. We're getting to know him
Yeah,
holistically, and then it'll pay off later on.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that's where we're at. So
Mhm.
we will continue to read just as much as we can. I think we can.
We need to do
I
better
think
this week,
we do. We need
and
to
I
read more.
admit I have been slacking.
I think we can get to the halfway point. This
Who who can?
I I think we can. We can get to page 200.
Okay,
That's halfway.
okay. That's fine.
All right. Let's get to what's the closest chapter? Oh, perfect. 1972. That's
is that
page
on?
199.
Okay.
Deal? Handshake deal? We'll get there.
Are we virtually handshaking right now?
Shake my hand.
Do you
Shake
not
my
believe me?
I'm putting it contract. There we go.
Contract.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Nope.
All right. Sweet. Everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week and talk more Shoe Dog. Peace.